Negative spaces, there's a never moment. My critical corners part 2, it has happened. Oh, it actually has happened. I'm gonna get most people on runs. That is a cheeky... Oh my lord! Oh my! Half a second gap for Razin. He might get closer. Never mind. Razin's got a lot of people. Got a lot of people to fight for. Is this 4 wide? 4 wide for a second does not go into 1. Oh my! Down the outside. Takes a wider line than he wants. And they make contact! Josh is out of the race! A little weaving moment. I think one of them, I couldn't tell who, had a little bit of rear end. I think it's quite clear who's got the quicker car between the two of them. Dylan's making Josh think about it the entire way up the hill. He's actually gonna pull off the move. That is an impressive move up the hill. Welcome back for the last time this season. There will be no more me waffling about NSL action for this season until the new game jumps and we start Season 11, but don't worry about it. Welcome in. Season 10, Round 18. It's been a very elongated season due to me not having any form of scheduling, staying towards it and all that good stuff. We'll be back to the 12-round seasons next time. It's all good. We're at Abu Dhabi. It's going to be a good time. The titles are all sealed. There's nothing to fight for seriously other than vibes and pride and whoever wants to win the race, the last one of the season. Let me talk you through all the vibes on the track. Yas Marina Circuit, I'm assuming people know it well. It's ended every single F1 season for a hot second right now. 29-lap race. We do have a sprint involved as well, which will keep it mixy and a good vibe. 10 laps of whatever that takes place. We'll see what it is. Reverse championship grid, which I'll show you in a second, the format of all that good stuff. And all the rest of the track. You already know that bit. Should we just skip straight to the format, just in case we're unaware? Because it's slightly useful. Sprint race goes like this. The laps we've just said. People who've scored the least points, or none at all, starting at the front. So technically the people who have done the worst, or the slowest, or whatever you want to call it, throughout the season, technically get the privilege of starting at the front, trying to hold on, do their business, and then the quickest people, the most consistent, the highest point scorers, shipped at the back of the grid. It's up to them to try and get back to the front if they can. Then we go on to the next part. One-shot quality is the normal business. It just means it's shorter than short, and then the main race. Separate event, all the good stuff. There's nothing more to show and say about it other than to switch the scenes to this screen, which is working for the first time. Normally when I switch it, it refuses to work. Good job me. I'll take it. Let's go to the main race room actually, because we've got to get everyone in. We're almost already all in. We're switching straight off from this music, because why not? Let's switch to the good vibes. Right, let's get the lobby all in first before we stress about anything else, as we do. Streamers dropping frames. It is not a me thing. Because mine's dropped to no frames all day. It is a you thing, Josh. I don't know why it's a you thing, but that is a you thing. Alright, let me double check the lobby setup first, because we obviously need a sprint first and foremost, as there's a logo in the bottom left screaming your name. Unless your name's not sprint, in which case it's not screaming your name at all, it's just saying the word sprint. But anyways, let me double check. I do not want to be messing this up so people have to shout at me about it, because we are all good. Scrollage. AI's all good, that's all fine as well. We'll set the grid once I know everyone's actually in. Dynamic, all that good stuff. No safety car formation lap in a beautiful sprint round. High risk, high reward. Damage is on. Ghosting, just check it didn't carry over from the other's lobby. It did not. Right. Is the internet dying? Is yours dying? Mine is definitely fine on all my ends. I'm watching it back, it's fine, it's back on my... Josh is losing it. And the prime time for NSL, his internet is finally decided to give up. Gotta love it. Right, let's go for the list. Josh, I think I've seen his name is already in. F1 Kid, is he in? Yes, he is. Ethan is on Xbox, so he's already in as well. Kieran is in. Boom. Love it. GB, fraud, but he is in. Sasso is in. Nice. Pooch, I have seen Pooch's name. I have seen Pooch's name. And I can't stress this enough. This is crazy. This name is different. He's had a couple classics over the times, but that's what he's running with. Sure. Kiddos, if I see his name is in, he's not yet, so we'll give an invite on Xbox. Although I know Xbox people can join on their own accord, they like to be nice. And if you want this screen, by the way, Xbox, please burn it off. I don't like seeing this extra bit on the right. It's far too much stress, and I just want to see everyone at a normal time. Please and thank you. Oh, no, kids are added. Oh. Alright, I guess I'll let him join on his own accord then. Fine. Dylan is on PC, is already in as well. Thank you very much, Demon Hunter, which is Jake's name. Wait, where's Jacob's name? Where's Jacob's name? Scrollage. Boom. There goes. That's the invite for him. Razin is in. Blessed. Harry is already... Harry's a reserve, I forget that. Is he actually in? I only had some issue with his thing. He is time trialing at the incorrect track, but that's fine. That's what he wants. I think we're only missing a couple from the stuff. Isn't it reserve? Why is he redeemed as a reserve then? Ah, okay. I was going to say, was I losing my brain there? I was slightly confused. It's fine. We move. Alright. Well, everyone's mostly in and coming over for the session, which is a good time. Just double checking who else we're definitely going to be missing. We're doing Bathurst with G... Yeah, that's it. You've been practicing for the right thing, right? Yeah. Actually, no, sorry, it's Nords. 24 hours obviously coming up. So, that's what we're doing here. Yeah, of course, man. Of course. Does Raul... I feel like Raul probably hates having to come back onto F1 when he's putting so much time and effort onto, like, a proper sim and he has to come back onto this. He must hate his life sometimes. He must do it. Alright, not too bad. Fine, Kizzo, Harry, and Peach. Alright, not too bad. So any of those are actually... wait, is Vine racing? Oh! Vine can get an invite from one of you guys, so I know that's fine. Peach can get an invite there, and the rest are on Xbox, so we are all good. The thing I'm able to play, been on Phone VN, managed on my account, and press on, but it's all good. I mean, if you're checked in, which you are, you can still hop in for the race if you've got time to. So you don't count yourself out. If you want to start hopping for the race, you can. If not, game's a game, it's fine. You checked in, so you got the option to. You're all good. Mine is listening to music, question mark. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go through some stats and stuff and all the vibes for NSL because I feel that that's necessary. Prime aggression for the calendar. You don't need that much aggression for the calendar. Let's go back to normal. Anyways, let me walk you through how we've been through this season. I actually want to walk you through the race winners through this season because it's been a bit crazy and topsy-turvy and all that good stuff. We had a fantastically large calendar, which will not be happening again. And we've had how many different race winners? I think, well, we'll just go for it. Safsa won the first pre-season race, which isn't on this screen at France. That was an absolute classic. Then Josh said, I'm going to win all four of the next. Some sprints involved there too. Safsa's won a couple after that. So we've had Josh, Safsa, F1 Kid, Ethan, and Raul, the race winners this season. Those are the only ones we've had. The sprints have been different. We've had other people winning those. The pole positions has only ever had Josh, F1 Kid, and Razin is getting those. So we'll see if any of those get changed too. I'd like a couple just extra stats on the board, but we're fine. It's been a long day. I think a few of my favorites. Vegas was crazy at the end. France as a preseason was actually top tier as well. Silverstone had a good time with a rain transition. There was a few others I'm probably missing as well. Anyways, that's all that stuff. We've seen that before. Let's have a look at the standings, how they're looking at this current point. Josh is leading with a gap that is known as unassailable because he's already won the title a long time ago, as we already knew. Anyways, 427. He's also broke his streak, or has had his streak broken, I should say, of 5 race wins in a row, Raul winning last time out. We want to get an F1 to clock. How many race wins will he have? But that's going to be his 11th. That is crazy business. F1 Kid in second. Ethan kind of was within catching position, but it's going to take some big things to happen for Ethan to overtake F1 Kid in this result. Then we've got Raul in P4, Sasso in 5th position, and a little bit of a gap after GB to Peach. Dylan, who's joined in for a couple events and has suddenly just decided, I'm going to just chill in 8th. Championship business, you know how it is, man. Harry in 9th and Lewis in 10th on that one. For the teams, looking like this. There is possibilities that points do switch around. As I'm hearing, Dylan is reserving for an Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo are in 10th position and only 6 points away from overtaking Haas and Alpine, who do have people attending in both of those cars. Razin is in an Alpine out here today. There is no Haas actually, so Haas currently, unless I'm changing my mind and I see it otherwise, are slightly finesse. Mercedes a little bit ahead of them at 52 and McLaren. They look like they might lead the way in the mid-table fight. They clawed back the last few charges in the last few races, so they might keep that. Top 5, Red Bull got left astray. They're going to probably stay in 5th. Williams, again, technically could overtake Aston Martin, but need a big hole. And Aston Martin technically could overtake Ferrari, but need a big hole. AlphaTauri have ran away with that. If something crazy happens, possibly changes happen here, but I think most of the things that are going to happen in this session are going to be pure vibes, pure changing to aggressive music vibes. No need for that. No need for that. Alright, last double check to see what we've got cooking in for this, as I need to order the actual grid for the sprint, but I need everyone to be in for now. Who are we missing? It is purely Harry, but Harry is joining in for the race, I believe, right? Did he doubly confirm? Let me scroll up and check. It's fine, it's fine. I believe Harry is either not going to join... Yeah, he did. I was just double checking if he did. Okay. Yeah, you're fine, just fine. Okay, we're good, we're good. Let me do the order of the business. It's hopefully being put in the chat so I can actually read it. Alright, let's go. Let's go. You all know why I'm here. The protagonist is racing. The official protagonist is there. We're sitting at the sprint grid as we speak. Kieran's name. Pole position for this one. Clownfish, second position on the board. That'll be a nice start for him. Razin, signing a high third place because he's not scored that many points. It's going to be nice stuff for him if he can run away with it from there. Kizzo in P4. Bind and Day, cooking up in a 5th position. Harry would have been in 6th if he was staying in, so that promotes Dylan to 6th place in the sprint. 7th place has got to be Pooch, whose name is actually Pooch now? Boring. Not trying to see that. 8th place will then be GB, 9th place will be Safso on the board, 10th place will be Rowlick, 11th will be Josh, I think. And then, no, not 11th will be Josh, sorry, nowhere near. 11th will be Ethan, 12th will be F1 Kid. Then Josh, then Jacob, and then Button. That is the order. 2 lobbies, of course, we're going to have to split this up so anyone's going to be confused while we're waiting, don't worry about it. It's time to press the radio buttons and start your thing, we got to go. Let's move! Let's move, let's do the business, ready up. We've got to race a sprint and do the thing. Get involved, get mixy, do the things, do the business. I'm there. It's a shame, I was looking forward to seeing Pooch's name being... I can't say it, it's in the VOD, so in case anyone, if I say it out loud and it sounds like I'm being sus, it was visibly on the screen. I can't be calling out for it. Evening Kizzle to yourself, by the way. You're doing good. Who's winning tonight, City or Tottenham? Tottenham top Spurs. I just want to see match fixing from Tottenham, to be honest. Otherwise, I think City are probably winning it anyways. But match fixing from Tottenham could be funny. Anyways, good luck to all in the session. It should be a good time. It should be a vibe. Bumper packed last round of the season, as always ends up happening, I think, to be fair, which is not bad scenes. Pooch just said, wait, that is timing. No, too late, man. Too late as the music gets abruptly paused. Actually, it's going to be put on the calm one, because I need game audio. Please do not start by the time I haven't put my game audio in. I will shout it. Okay, I would have cried. I actually would have cried. Whew! I actually would have actually cried if that had gone through. We're ready to go! Music? Should we fade it out? No. It's time. It's time for the proper big session. The vibes are coming through. GB's having his hair cut. I suppose I'll add on to the list. Toilet and food is priorities, to be fair. I understand it. I respect it. Let's go through and do our thing. Pedro Porter absolutely rifle into the back of it. It's one of those days. It's one of those... it'd be funny if I saw it. It won't, but it would be fun. Right. Sprint race is going to be cooking. We'll see how it goes down. High risk, but decently high reward with the points that you can possibly get is obviously the things that we're going for. Slower people at the front, quicker people at the back most of the time. Razin starting up in 3rd place might nice him a little bit, as he's probably out of position due to down to what he can normally do on the track. We'll find out. Maybe he bottles at Abu Dhabi at all times and he's actually there on pace. We have no clue. But we'll fight. We'll fight. I'm currently fighting off Angela for the last Fredo. Priorities set and ready to go. I like that because I like that. That is important. That is important. I'm worried how this is going to go for anyone further back from like 5th. The top 5 might get away cleanly, but with the people at the front being quick, not quick, the people at the back being quick, sorry, and I wonder how quickly they're going to try and rush through the grid. Going to try and take some extra risks. It's been a while since I've seen a sprint, so I just don't actually remember how they're going to take it. Formation lap is off. There's no safety. There's no safety in this. No formation lap. None of this business. We're in straight away. Give me some lights. Turn them off. And then actually run the start. We're now racing. Hey, Kizzo's jump start. I thought I saw that. I thought it was a glitch. It's a jump start off the line. Into turn 1 we go. Kieran's roaring off into the lead. There's a spin at the back for a Ferrari. This is so far a slightly chaotic start. Kizzo trying to take a risk of the soft tyres, jumps half the grid and then tries to hold onto it. This is going to be a bit mental. Into this... Oh my sweet Jesus, we've just seen contact between half the grid in NSL. How is everyone still functioning? Oh my lord. well, they're all still going. I do believe that's steward-worthy things. Oh, Lord, that's scary. I don't even know what specifically caused it. I just saw a slowish car at the front, and then all of a sudden, many cars was piling into the back of it. Sit rep for the race order. Kieran's in the lead with a 2-second gap at the moment. We're going to go on board with this midfield pack to see what the hell is happening as these guys are all trying to go side by side. The teammates have collided. Josh and Raul have made contact, and Raul spun around. Last race winner. Oh my lord. What is going on? I simply don't understand what's going on in this event. I'm just seeing I'm certain a track limit. The only thing I can certainly tell you is Kira's got a nice buffer. Kizzo's going to due to come in, and there he is to say his drive-through. He's going to hurt, obviously, his run, and that's probably him out of the running for some decent points. Should we have a look at the position changes, dare I say, because I think there might have been a few of them. Ethan has gained 9 positions in second place. Pooch, Bine, and Raul all in for some form of damage. I'm surprised there's not more, to be honest. I'm genuinely surprised there's not more. We've now got 2 splinter groups now, as the rest of the grid has been segmented slightly. But Ethan's up 9 positions, Dylan's up 3, Safsov's up 5, Josh is up 8, F1 is up 6. That's up 5 positions. And there's a lot of people who have dropped a few as, yeah, that start went crazy. Went absolutely crazy. We're going to have a look at some damage, I think, later on, as I also want to see the second half of this train, as Razin's having a look if he wants to go down the inside. McLaren also trying to go around the outside at the same time! No way is he trying to send that move, and I think he's almost pulled it off and he spun it around. Tried an audacious little attempt, and to be honest, it was on. Didn't end up working out at the time. Razin has gained a position out of it, but Clownfish wants a piece of it back. Not close enough. Razin goes wide. Is close enough now. That's a surprising move, and back into 7th goes Clownfish. This is currently delivering exactly what NSL Sprints can expect it to be delivering. Like, it's not meant to be chaos in terms of the concept, but in terms of everyone just jostling with positions, it's doing that right now. It's definitely doing that. GB's coming on the back now as well of this car. We're going to leave these for a second. If GB wasn't going to go for a little lunge there, he stuck his nose in. We'll have a little look at the front. This front train needs to be investigated to see what the hell they're doing. We're on board with F1 Kid at the moment. Every single car other than Kezo is on a medium compact tyre, and now Pooch has joined onto the softs, in fact. Kind of switch this on up. I would love a damage check to scroll through half of these cars, but unfortunately, it would take far too long. I just assume that some people are carrying some wounded vehicles, as I think we might see an opportunity with an overtake, as that looks like Ethan's going to have a go onto Kieran's car. Into the lead he goes, into P1, and into P2, that Kieran goes into the McLaren. Dylan confirming he's got damage. I'm not surprised. There definitely should be a few out there. The battery's been absolutely depleted on one of those cars, and Dylan might have to take advantage and have a go as well. I feel like a lot of people can have some wounded cars, though, so it's going to be who can make the most of what they've got. Even if you've got a nice car, if you're just so far back, you might not be able to catch these guys who have got broken cars, and even if they all don't have broken cars, then they might be safe to go. Position and track position, whatever you have, might give you some nice point holes if you can make it work. But this train might get very dicey in a bit, because I don't think they're in the correct order of who's the quickest / who's got the most car remaining intact on their car. This is peak NSL, Richie. This actually is peak NSL. Everyone's skidding out of these few corners right now. We've still got Razin and Clownfish and Pooch. Not Pooch, sorry. Pooch is unfortunately down in 12 miles away. Clownfish, GB, and Razin all close together, and I think Razin might be firming. He might have tried to firm some damage. Not going to firm anymore. I'm not sure if this is a front wing change or just tyres. I don't know why it would be tyres. It's a front wing change. It's a sprint. There's nothing else to do. That's him down and out even further. Ethan's got himself a nice 8/10 gap to Dylan. Safso has got himself past Kieran, and I think Josh is going to try and line up the same as well. It's going to be tough. It's going to be close as F1 Kid is having a look. I don't know who's going to make any moves here. We've got Josh and F1 Kid possibly past Kieran. His lead has lasted a couple laps, but unfortunately the train has caught and passed him. He's done a very good job. He got given a nice buffer as well, but fortunately the pace was strong. And the pace is even stronger for Dylan as he tries to send it around the outside. Is Eva going to switch it back? Has he got the grip on the rear of the car to keep it? He does, but not to keep the position, just to keep his car from spinning around. Dylan does take the lead at the sprint. Ethan in second. Safso chilling in P3. Sniffing along. The whole top 6 are within a second of each other. Kizzo and Sajap trying to pass each other further back on the grid as well. As there's The trains are weird. We've got a top 6 in a train, then we've got a little bit of a gap of a couple people who got struggled in, and then the first few cars that got caught in pit stops at the back of the grid at the moment. Kind of in a close train, kind of, but not really. It's a tough day for some cars. I really don't know what happened, though, at the start. Who's just claiming it's unacceptable? I simply don't know what to call what happened. I just saw some cars make some contact, and things happened, and now we're here. Track limit penalty coming through for some cars as well. That was almost a rear locking moment, I think. Thought that the rear was sliding a little bit. DRS is going to get in here before all 4 of those cars behind. I think Kieran has unfortunately just been dropped out. Let's line up, folks. Let's see who's going to go take the lead. Ethan is past Dylan. Safso is past Dylan. Is Ethan going to get passed by Safso? I don't think he is. The camera's really sticking with this angle for some reason. I don't know why. And it looks like Dylan's fighting his way back. How is he fighting his way back through there? That's impossible. He's having a go. Safso's not going to try and go down the inside, and we're going to have a little free, full wide moment again in NSL. This has to stop. We can't keep delivering 4 wide moments in NSL. My voice box can't take it. It's not possible. Safso's into the lead of the race with Josh in second. Ethan sticking his nose in for a brief moment. Dylan sticking his nose in for a brief moment. I don't know what to call this. F1 kid's trying to stick his nose in, and he's actually got to pass him. Dylan was in the lead in the middle sector. He's now in 5th place. What do you mean? This is, at least from this part, a crazy run as Clownfish is DNS through the tricky final sector, I think. I'm not sure if that was contact or just dropping it on his own. That's the first retiree of the session. Obviously, no safety cars, no nothing to recover from that. If you're out, you're out. And if you're in a bad position and want to get a safety car to brump your way back up, tough, you are done. It's high risk, high reward for a reason in this one. This is... I don't know what to say about any of this. But these top 5 are not done yet. The gap between them all total is, what? 1.2 seconds from the front to Dylan's car alone. That's all. That is how close every single one of these cars are. As Josh does, making his way back over to the lead. Josh trying to take bit of the racing line as much as he could, and Safso was almost getting squeezed there. They all carried on there, living in to say another day. Ethan, though, trying to settle in with another bit of slipstream, possibly overtake Safso. Are they all going to work together now as Josh has gotten a lead, try and work to pass him? Or are they going to keep going rogue as Dylan looking like he's trying to get back past F1 kid, but he's going to have to settle for 5th. That's a wide moment from Josh. I think he was trying to avoid a track limit pen. I wonder if he did or not. He did intentionally stay on the curb for a little bit longer than he probably wanted to. This is a cool train, though. This is what I mean. Every one of these people at the front, by the way. In fact, am I right? Yeah, every single one of the top 5 has won a race in NSL. Josh has won many races. Safso's won races. Ethan's won a race. F1 Kid's won a title. 3 title winners here and 5 race winners in the top 5 is absolute brilliant content to see. And there's more in this grid alone. They just unfortunately got unlucky. This is what I love. This is crazy. Dylan's been dropped a tiny bit. To be fair, Safso's been dropped the most. He's got an 8/10 gap to Josh as he's finally got away. Is Josh one of the few cars who doesn't have as much damage? Is that maybe the reason? I'm not too sure. I wouldn't be surprised if he's got one of the least amount of damage on the car. He's normally fairly careful. That's another wide moment from Josh. Josh is being very, very track limit smart, I want to say. He's getting away with not getting penalties, but he's definitely going wide a few more times as that looks like Dylan's having a little look. Not able to find a gap to go past the Williams right now. And the whole train is back together once again as the DRS is compact to the top 5. We haven't had a chance to look away elsewhere. The rest of the grid is still fine. We've got Raul and Razin still close together. Razin on some brand new sauce. Looking to think overtake into P11, but obviously no points now unless you're in 8th position. Josh is so close again, but Josh keeps his position so far. We'll go on board with Ethan to see if he can plot a move. Oh, we're only on lap 7. We've still got racing laps to go. And the race, by the way. And the qualifying session. We've still got action ready in here. Raul and Bine are now fighting for positions. We'll have a little look at that, in fact, as these 3... Oh, these 3 are having a little moment. These 3, I didn't realize, are all this close together. We've got Raul in the lead of it so far for the 10th position. We've got Bine looking like he wants to make an opportunity work. Razin might try and sneak in and go around with them. Bine has made it through. Razin has not. Hasn't got enough speed or grip. I think it was just a bit too far to maybe wait that work, but he's not giving up just yet. Round the outside the entire way around. Can't do it. Oh, the lockup. Oh, the lockup scared me. Thought Raul was going to lock up into Bine, and turns out that Razin almost locked up into Raul. That is a moment. Just a slight moment happening here. The back of the grid's just as entertaining as the front, apparently. To be fair, none of those 3 can Probably say they should have been at the back after a few more laps, but they are, as that's things that happen. Pooch is up into 9th. The points paying positions leave Kizzo currently, as the train is doing more things, so I quickly go back on board. Kizzo's currently in the last points paying position with GB, Kieran, the next few, and then these lot, which I don't know what they're doing. I'm just watching side-by-side racing action every 4 seconds, and I'm not sure what's going on. Josh is still just about leading. He seems to just have the better edge. Before, it was switching around a bit more with the front person and anyone else who was in... I mean, everyone's in slipstream range, so basically everything with a car. But I don't know if they've got the edge just for now. I'm suspecting damage is a play for it. I'm not sure. Can't confirm. I wish there was a thing to check that. It has to be, in a way. It has to be. But despite that, they're still there. Oh, well within dive bombing range if you want to try and take a go for the lead. Or if not for that, for 2nd place, or for 3rd, or for 4th. Every one of them is close enough to try and a position or 2 ahead of them. There's still time, but yeah, through these corners, Josh manages to pull a bit of a gap, and that might be all the buffer he can pull, but that might be huge come lap 10, DRS, battery all being deployed. Speaking of, 38% for Josh, 60%, 46%. F1 Kid on 28, might be using a bit more of it in the next straight. And whilst Dylan on as well, he's on 43%. Let's get on board with Dylan as we watch the train do their business as he drops the rear slightly. Still within touch. Gap's a bit big now. 4 temps is now a bit big. And now we'll see if anyone else tries to plot a move onto this straight. I don't think we'll see any late tries until lap 10. They're just going to bide their time and wait as long as they can now. They've finally settled in. After 9 laps of racing, they're just now settling into a bit of a rhythm. Because that's probably the best thing for them and what they have to do. Dylan says no. Dylan's not settling into a rhythm. He sees a gap on the inside. He's going down the inside on F1 Kid. Finally, he might dispatch the Williams. The Williams is not allowing him to fully do it, though. And the Williams is absolutely keeping this position for now. It's going to keep going into the next few corners. Who is going to take this position? Braking late from F1 Kids. Braking late and keeping the position. Stout defense. Nicely done. Dylan looks like he had the edge for it, but then F1 Kid just said, no, I've still got more grip and speed. I'll keep that position. And that leaves them a tiny bit of drift. Not really. They're still there. But like that might be the difference on this next lap if they can have a go at Ethan. And that might leave Ethan some room to then have a go on Safso. And Safso, with the half-second gap, might be a bit too far away to have a go on Josh. I don't know who's going to have a go on anyone. Is everyone just going to stay in this order? I have absolutely no clue. Position changes reminder, by the way. Josh is up 12 positions. I would like to remind you, he's basically up from almost the back of the grid. Which is absolutely crazy. Kizzo getting a track limit penalty. Same for Razin as well. A couple more people adding onto the list of that. In 10 laps, that might be a bit of a cursor for this full race. Obviously, people taking maybe just a few less risks. So I have no clue if that's a proper thing to look at. Is that a proper thing to look at for the lead, though? Safso's saying no. He wants this on the last straight. He's aware there's a second DRS coming up, and he doesn't want to get overtaken immediately. This might be the one to look at. Is it possibly, though, that he just should have taken that first risk and tried it later? Or is he confident he can go around the outside? Josh has got no battery left. Safso coming down the inside. Is he going to make it stick? I think he has, but is Josh going to go around the outside? He is. Safso's dropping the rear. Josh is going to keep it. Safso has dropped the rear at a horrible moment. I think if he didn't do that, he's got that position to go. The top 5 are still going. It was almost a perfect attempt. He almost timed it so well. But he could not keep the car intact. Is Ethan or anyone else close enough to have a go? And he's still close enough to have a send down the final few corners. Ethan almost hits the back of Safso, but on the final run we go. Josh takes the win. Safso is second, Ethan third, F1 Kid in 4th place, and Dylan in 5th for the sprint. That is a crazy finish. That almost came through like 7 different winners at the time. There was a lot of people vying for that one. Kieran has come through in 6th position with GB in 7th place. In the end, and the last points paying position. Looks like penalties don't change it. Is that going to Pooch? It will not go to Pooch because he has too many penalties. And Razin is too close. I think Razin will nick that point by the end of it. In fact, no, Razin's not going to nick that point. In fact, let me just wait for it to cross the line before I tell you that. I think it's going to be Bayern instead. It is! Bayern taking the 8th place point. Raul in 9th, Razin in 10th, Pooch in 11th, Kizzo in P12. Gonna have Jack coming across the line eventually in 13th to be the last finisher. That was an event of proportions. And I do also need to... I want to look back and see what the hell happened at the start, because I generally do not know what happened earlier on. That was race stuff. It forced some stuff to happen. That whatever happened, it made things happen. It made things happen. GG's, congrats Josh on the sprint win. That was a big win. I was from, where was it, 13th or something? 14th position. No, 13th in the end because Harry was missing out. Up to there was crazy. Raul and Thingy, yeah, I saw some teammates colliding. I saw things happen. Things went down. That was a day. Let me show you the order and the stuff on the screen so you can see what happened provisionally, of course. That's your order for the session. Do I have to technically scroll down, or is it just showing? Yeah, it's fine. Josh, who got the sprint win. Ignore the points, as always, on the right. We have our Sasu in second, Ethan in third place, F4Kin in fourth, Dylan in fifth, Kieran and GB then bind to wrap up the points positions for us in the sprint. Then Raul, Razin, Pooch. A couple of those people, I think, if they avoided damage, could have been higher as well. It could have been an even crazier lead battle, but that's what happens sometimes. Kizzo in 12th, Jack in 13th, and then only one DNF, unfortunately, of Clownfish. But there's still a whole qualifying race to go later on. There's still time. There's still time. We'll see where it runs down. Right. I think we can move on now. That was a lot of action, and we've only done one of the sessions that we need to do today. That's going to be a little mental. Just a tiny bit. We can now leave this session as soon as it lets us. Is a key. Can it let us leave? What did Harry say? Sorry, I was busy waffling about the outro stuff, but I wanted to read what he said. I think it was about stuff. Consume my dinner at an alarmingly fast rate, but I'm just going to practice because I'm trying to get back to pace while I'm at home. See if you're all good. No worries, Harry. You're all fine. Appreciate that you letting me know, of course. Right, NSL has so far delivered. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. We can also now finally whack off this logo and pop on the proper one. And go and make the session again, as we've got a normal qualifier session to do, which I guess calms things down. I didn't even get a chance to talk about possible sprint strategies because only one person did. We had a drive-through, we had a massive set of collisions, we had in cinema racing for the lead, and at the back, and from a content point of view, I saw content, I saw action. There was other things that probably happened in there, but I just simply don't know. I didn't get to see it. Right, new lobby is open for the proper session. Let's go back to inviting the people. As always, if you're on Xbox, you can hop straight in. PC people, wait patiently, please. I will spam you with invitations so you can get involved in the session. Whew, that was a time. That was all pain. I really want to watch back what happened. I might have to try and get a clip of my own stream because I just briefly saw someone going slower than expected. That's all I saw, and then anyway. Let me go for the list. I'm going to ignore this. 5 residents, get him an invite. His name on the... Oh, he's on it. Wait, is he on Xbox? No, he's not. I don't know why I just can't see his name there. Might have given Peach a pet. Listen, stewards might be busy, is all I'm saying. I don't know for sure, but stewards might have a busy time for the final round of the season. Maybe people won't care enough to send stuff in. I don't know. But I feel like, regardless, just so they understand what would have been given, they might still be interested in giving a few penalties. Let me just go for the assassin's name as well. I've lost in-game music. Where is my in-game music now, by the way? I've lost that since like 40 minutes ago or 50 minutes ago. I want it back, man. Find an invite as well. Got my sprint run taken from me for my crimes. Shouldn't have done it, man. I mean, I saw so many crimes. I don't know what happened. I'm being dead serious. I can't call any individual thing in that start at all. Black one just took place and things happened and a few people crashed. I think that's about as far as I've got in that list. Let me know if I've missed an invite for anyone. I think I've got all the pieces pinged through, so you should be all good. Whew, that's been right. Also, while I'm here, can I have in-game audio? Is that allowed? Am I allowed to have music in this session, or is that... No? Just gonna leave me without any? Right, good. Fine. Didn't want it anyways. 10-4. I would love to know what happened at 10-4. I'd love to know. Let me read. Sorry, I think I missed someone trying to describe briefly what happened. Don't know how I walked for that unscathed without damage. I don't know either. Canfish free a lot to me, resident. Yeah, okay, yeah. I saw piles of cars. I didn't think. I don't know. I don't know. Comms, I hope, was good too because I don't know what went down in all of that. Don't worry, Justin. Just make sure everything's in first before I change it. But yeah, that was stress. That was stress to the full. Right. Where is Fred? Fred again is not allowed. We're expecting 14 again, I believe. So we're all good. Let me double check and make sure the session is all set to go. And scrolled in Well, that's good, that's fine. I can finally now put on the safety cars, etc. and all the big stuff. Josh, my goat, would agree that statement if money didn't exist, but close actually. Damn, the money is actually swung to be the preferred mod. That's crazy. Josh will not be happy about those ones. I'll be fine. I'm changing it, but I'm doing it now. Shushington. Prime Shushington from you, man. Don't do it. Safe car refused. Immersive. Stuff, red flags off. One day I'd love to put it on, but can't push you up. We're all good to go. We're all good. Right, who am I missing? Kieran's in, Clownfish is in as well, Razin is in, doing Pizzo, yes, fine, yes. Harry is not in, that's the only one I'm missing. Dylan, Pooch. Okay, there we go, that's the missing one. Figured it out. We used our brain cells, we put it all together. Is he back? He's back to his own. Alright, not too bad. I am set and ready to go, and I'm concerned, scared, worried about all the above. Oh, it's been a day. Big up to NSL. If you saw that, by the way, alone at this point, and thought, I need to be involved and be in the session. We haven't even finished any of it yet. But this season is the last. This is the last of this game. And this is the last race of this season, all of that good stuff. So the only way to promote it is to talk about next season. Because there's no relevant thing to talk about this one. So if you saw that and you're interested, the sign-ups on the link and stuff still say season 10, but it still counts for the business. I'd say get yourself involved. New game's gonna mix everything up. Back to a short season, meaning more, every round counts a little bit more than it did before. Other rules and stuff will get revealed soon, hence why the list on the left is so short. The time might also be changed a little bit. There's a couple things that are in flux, might get tweaked soon, but either way, Season 11 is gonna cook on the new F1 24 game. !NSL, join up. If you're watching on YouTube VOD, go ahead in the description, the links in there for Discord. Go in there and sign up. We're gonna have a good time, and it's gonna be very scary and crazy. I have no clue how it's gonna run. Who's gonna be good? Whatever. But you should be there. If you should have been there for that race alone. You definitely should be there for this. It's gonna be a good. I now think everyone is in the session and ready to go. Every single car that is meant to be in is there. I just need Bind to select a vehicle. Please, Bind, select a vehicle, please. And then we can go and ready up and start our business and start the proper race session and the quality thing. No, alright, kicked. You've asked for this, man. You've asked for it. I'm going to report the player as well for an inappropriate gamer tag. Josh, please shout him to start. I need to go. We need to start. It's fine. Head on driver giving me £200. Oh, so I said me. Okay, that's fine. £200. It's still not fine. But 200 quid to the drivers' champion and 500 constructors. If that's not a reason to join, I don't know what it is. Maybe. I say they should give me that as an entry fee for joining the league. That's what I've. 200 quid each. Imagine £200 to join an F1 league. Would be meant. He wants to be allocated. If he doesn't get allocated to his vehicle, I'm going to laugh. Mine's being weird. Anyways, we move. Music can slowly stop. It's time to get on the proper session. The main event stuff, technically. I mean, we've already had the main-ish event. We're now having the less-ish event. I don't know what to say about any of this. The waffle's going on doing his business. Let's go. Let's go do our thing. Back to the quali. No points given for this. I know past seasons we've had, if you get pole position, you actually do be able to get a point or a couple. Maybe one day we bring that back, but I mean, right now I like it as it is. It's all good. It's fine. We've had points popped in for the sprint. Obviously, the standings I'd love to talk about, but I doubt we're going to even bother having them in yet, because they'll probably change in the next day or so once we've gone through all that good stuff, so we'll see. And obviously, there's also nothing to deal with in the championship. If people are caring about that, we'll get to that later, but it's a vibe. It's a vibe. Let's do the setups. Or forget them if you want. It'd be funny if you don't, actually. I've just said, yeah, it'd be funny if you forget them, because vibes. You heard it on stream, but no. N-O spells. It spells on, actually, if you put it backwards, but it spells no, not having it. Right, let's get involved. Session, let us in. I want to see cars on the racetrack razzing around for our quality session. I want to see if we get someone other than the status quo of Josh, F1 Kid, or Razin on pole. All three are here, but someone else could also nick it. It could be the time. No spells, yes it is, for God's sake. Oh god, right, let's get involved. Let's get involved with the prime session. Let's get on boards with Pooch for the first part of the... Oh, I swear to God. This done, I get on board with him to watch the first sector, to just give him some love. And he does that. He does that. At least make it some entertaining before you invalidate a lap, man. I know, no, listen. He's got to at least be entertaining while he does it. That's rude. That's rude. Anyways, let's get on board the first sector with the rest of the cars. Dylan, so far in the lead at the moment. Chilling in, carrots out, don't worry, we'll be back. He has got a good pen, I should have actually mentioned. I knew, but I forgot to actually say out loud. Doesn't really help. Taking maximum track limits and the esports row lines all over the track. Dylan might be one of the ones to break it. He had plenty of pole position in his championship winning season last time out, which was on this game, so it should be familiar enough. So, could be a charge. Josh obviously not taking part in qualifying as he's starting at the back. Limited chances for this to not be any of the status quo. This might be someone else. For the first time in a hot second, even chilling in P3, rising down to 6th place, well, currently up in 6th place, should say. Everyone get the time trial merchant, not there yet. Gone a bit wide, invalidates on the last few corners. He'll also be starting in the back. Alongside with Bine, who's had a moment. Dylan might return back to the top of the grid, unless he loses it on the final part. He does take pole position. For the first time since Season 9 in his last few races in the season, he's back on the top step, even in 2nd place. Massive gap as well. That's what you have to do to deliver the one-shot qualies. But finally, it didn't matter who it was, we had someone other than the same 3 on pole position. I just needed to see it. That's all I did, I just needed to see it. Dylan, 1st place, pole position to his name. I want to double check how many that is in overall, but I'll check it a little bit. Ethan in 2nd position with the Ferraris, Raul in P3, GB in 4th position, Razin starting in a fairly solid P5, Kieran in 6th place, Cloudfish in 7th, Kizo in 8th, Jack in 9th, Safso having to settle with 10th alongside his teammate who both either invalidated or couldn't qualify in Pooch's case. Josh in 12th opting to start at the back, F1 Kid invalidated near the end with a P13, and Bine starting in last position. Not ideal. But we move. Alright, we continue. Wait, oh no, wait, hang on, no way. Have we had a mare? Where the hell is my movement? I'm trying to move on the thing. Have we had a moment where someone has not done the quali ban movements? I believe we have. Kizzle did have a quali ban. We might just have to... Do we have to run quali again? Run it from round 1 next season? Yeah, we'll run it later. Okay, well, Kizzle is going to be one of the first few people to actually keep his qualifying ban to the next one. Okay, to be honest, it's easier. It's easier than probably restarting the entire thing, which would have been more stressful. The camera's reset, by the way, from the opens. Ah, that's boring, man. whack it on chase gun. Whack it on chase gun for vibes. We move. Alright, yeah. Well, that's not ideal. We've technically had some cheating, but I guess it's not too bad. It's fine. Right, Kizzle's pen will carry on to the next time. It's probably less stress-free. It's not too big of a deal, I guess, in this scenario, but otherwise, I guess I would have actually restarted. I'll look into a rule on that one in case that ever... Josh, remind me to look into that as a rule. As an exception thing if that happens. I have an idea for it. I don't think you're going to remember now, but remind me later. Okay. All that stressful part done. We can do the main part. I did put a formation up on. Didn't hear but sure. Just remind me to remind you of something. It doesn't matter about what the rest is. It's fine. Let's get involved. I can now, hopefully, talk you through some form of strategy and all that good stuff. I enjoyed this part on the formation where I get to, like, chill and give you the sit rep and the rundown. I normally don't get to do it in a sprint round because there's no formation up. I hope it works next game because I'd like to have one in the sprint just so I can still at least talk to you guys before everything goes chaotic. Anyways, let me talk you through what we've got going down. There's medium tyres on a few cars. There's a couple hard tyre runners in Raul, GB, and Kieran in the top few positions of 3rd, 4th, and 6th. And then we've got 2 soft runners, surprisingly, further at the back, Safso and F1 Kid looking to try and gain some extra positions. What I'm seeing on the strategy is that a 2-stop is allegedly possible. It's slower by a tiny bit, but it's there. It's definitely not off the cards. It's only slower by a couple seconds, which it's well within, oh, you've just conveniently been gifted 2 seconds because something else has happened, you got a nice buffer. I'd say it's not something that I don't expect someone to do. Considering the soft tyres on the board, unless someone's going rogue and is doing a soft hard, we're not esports obviously, so I doubt we're seeing that. I think we're going to have a nice mix, which is going to be a good. Medium hard / hard medium, or 2 mediums and a soft in whichever order you like, is what I'm expecting. I'm also expecting, what's the lap times? Lap 10 to 13 is what Josh got wrote down on the list. We'll see if that's true. Again, safety car could hop in and mix it all up. Everyone converts to a one-stop and it's all boring, but we have no clue. We have no clue. Okay, so it's all good. It's not the worst thing in the world, I guess. Probably would have been slightly more controversial if it's a title thing, which is the only reason I want to look into, like, possibly making a proper official rule, so I don't have to judge on the fly for that one. It's all good. We'll just carry it to next season. It's fine. In this case. That's an opportunity to work on. See, this is why these things happen. Then you learn, and then we have a thing that... Not for you, specific for me. We can learn and adjust things. It's all smooth. Right. I think the grid's going to settle in. Do their business. There's a couple cars that are allegedly out of position to what they're normally in, which is normal. It happens sometimes. Dylan's probably in a normal-ish position, but that's probably one of the few that is. Josh is obviously near the back. Saf's near the back. F1 Kid near the back. Razin in 5th place. It's going to be cinema. Mine is currently parked. We're just waiting for the game to actually allow us to start. Is someone still parking? Why also... Hooch is facing the wall. And no one else is actually being allowed to set off yet. What? What do you mean? No. I'm unsure of what I've just seen. Why? What's going on? I've just seen the grid pull up. Then Jack gets given Jack gets told his part's on the grid as he's on lap 1. And then I just see Safsa pull away. I do believe what has happened is some few of the cars have got lap 1. This hasn't happened in ages in NSL for the start. If you can't guess, chat, we're just gonna run a restart. If you can't guess, we are gonna restart the session. Oh god. I mean, it's content. It's content. And Safsa storms away into the race. Let's go run it again. Let's try that again, and hopefully it doesn't bug and break. I'm gonna have to clip that so I can go get the race order. It's a wonderful scene. It's a wonderful scene. It does mean, because if you want an opportunity, yes, Josh, if you can screenshot and ping it, but I should have it. Because if you want an opportunity, we can just whack you down to the back, I guess, if that would be fair. And then makes it easy. That means we don't have to carry it over. So because it's been nice there, but the game has stiffness. Technical issues, but not of my own doing. It's purely of Codemasters doing today, which isn't. Steam maintenance in Luby. I'm so glad if we get an earlier start time one time, that might help. Because that could be slightly clean. It was Bine on pole. Bine has not paid me any match fixing money, and to do it, unfortunately, the game's the game. And the match fixing fee to make me even put you anywhere near a good position is £700. No one's paid me that. So unfortunately, you're all getting put in your actual position. Anyways, alright, let's run it again. Let's try and actually have the session work. I'm going to leave the formation lap on. I'm going to trust it works this time. If it doesn't work this next time, then have a guess that the formation lap will not be taking part, as once again it's decided to part. Alright, invites, time to spam those the PC people's way. I will spam them as quickly as possible, as we've now got business to do. I'm just going to scroll through the list. F123 is showing us what we're going to miss. Do you reckon we're going to miss it? Missing it would mean it's not featuring in the next game. That's it. I don't. Alright, anyways. Spamming invites are coming through. Exos people, make sure you get yourselves in as quickly as you can. Because, of course, you guys can do it yourselves. I don't need to spam you guys your own invites. Optimism is key. And I'm very optimistic that these will not feature in the next time. I'm just not going to say anything. If I say anything, I'll jinx it and it will end up going the wrong way. Alright, I think that's most of the people that on PC needed invites pinged through. Let me know if anyone is again missing it. I'm going to keep it on, Ethan, but if it bugs again, I'm going to just put it off. I'm going to keep it on. I'm pretty sure this. It's only because I committed to saying it before. So it's fine. Alright, anyways. Who said P36? Dylan P36. It's rude. Yeah, this is what I mean. It's not a new game-breaking thing. I just know it's a one-off. It can sometimes happen. I'm less bothered about turning it off. If it happens again, then firm. Yeah, sure. We'll do it. I'm not going to keep trying 60 times over. That would be amazing. Anyways, how many people are missing into the lobby? Oh, nice. Oh, Kieran. Kieran, thank you. Boom. Then we got Kizza's name into P8. Then P9 was in fully. Then 10th is. Oh wait, I'll move Kizzo afterwards. I know. I just realized that I want to do it the right order anyway. Wait a minute. Definitely thingy. Safsa in 10. Boom. 11th is Josh. 12th is F1 Kid. 13th is. Huh? No, Pooch. Okay, that's what I'm missing. And then put you at the back. That was stressing my brain. Okay. Just wait for Pooch, and we are all good to go. Bayern 2.0. Is Bayern got some like newfound facial hair, like Bottas? Because if he hasn't, it doesn't count. It's the only way that's allowed. I know because other Colivan, I know. I'm just reading the orders, and then I'll move it afterwards. I'm shush. Go away. We're fine. As soon as it says 14, I can adjust the grid correctly and whack Pooch in, but there he is. In between Safso and Josh. It's an interesting place to be. Double check, that's all set. Dylan, Ethan, Ral, GB, Razin, Kieran, Clownfish, Jack, Safso, Josh, Pooch, Josh, F1 Kid, fine, and good. We're all good to go. Safety is off. Ready up again, and hopefully for the last time in NSL history for this game. We're good to go. We'll find out. The winner gets free tap. I want those. Richie, I want them, man. Send them my way, brother. Send them my way. I just want to eat. I'm hungry. Josh, did you spot someone by any chance going rogue on... Hang on. I knew I was missing a second. Is PSS meant to be on? Let me double check this. This looks like rogue. Yeah, PSS is meant to be off. Why is that on? Sorry, I knew something was wrong. I knew something looked wrong there. It is wrong. Yeah, it is wrong. This is nowhere near... Okay, good. I am glad I spotted all that. Yeah, the Wii was missing like half a second. I was about to screw NSL. Woohoo! That was crazy. Alright, let me double check everyone else is ready. That was an almost fail from your boy. Reduce, safety go on. Boom, damage is correct. Okay, see, this is what I mean. I saved the same setting and it still screwed me over. Mix up after. Okay, we're good. We're fine. Joshua at 10 card. Damn. I mean, to be fair, even if it's a restart, incidents that happen in a restarted race still count. So it's like I know we had it before at Imola when we had a full restart after someone biffed half the people off the road. The guy still got a penalty, and then we still restarted, even though it technically didn't happen. If someone's penalising something that happened in that formation lap somehow, I don't know how it's technically allowed. There's removing. Oh, yeah. There's many times. Anyways, we're good to go. It's got reduced. Yes, it always is. I want to put that on standard because I feel like reduced in this game has proven long enough. Like actually, it's too reduced. I only did that because last year it was so trigger happy. Like on standard, it just came out when it wanted. Whereas this year, I kind of feel like that might be a thing I consider to putting onto standard again. It depends how it. Well, I'll test it. I'll find out. I feel like there's been too many times where there's been enough incidents that actually are worthy of some safety car come out, and the game's just like, never mind. There's a few things that are up in the air for next season. There's a couple. Not all of it is set in stone just yet. Right. Crossing our fingers that this time the safety car... Not that. That's anyway. The formation that works. As always, remember your setups, of course, because obviously it's a new session and you have to put it on again. And... for GV, he's telling you to forget your setups, so he gets an advantage. I hope he forgets it, and then he comes back and tells me that it needs to be changed. In funny times. Anyways, please work. That's all I need. That's all I need from you, Gib. The longer this keeps breaking, the more I have to wear this damn shirt. And I don't want to wear this damn shirt, just in case this isn't clear enough. Anyone watching in from the VOD or just hopping in midstream. I ain't trying to be a Verstappen fan. I am a McLaren Shadow employee, and I'm not a Red Bull fan. I don't want to wear this. This is a forfeit. So the quicker this is done, the speedier we actually move on. Please. It's up to you, man. If you're on Team GB or Team Josh, basically. Whoever do you like more is the one you should do. So if you want Josh to hate you, then switch around. If you want GB to hate you, then leave it off. Right. It's time again. This also now gives everyone a prime opportunity to have a little assessment. They've seen what people picked on tyres, so they want to change their minds. No. In fact, if I'm correct, I think every single person is on the exact same tyre as they were before. Now, I know people probably assume which I think is a fair rule in a few other leagues. Like, if you have a restart, you should pick the same tyre, same setup, same everything. But I do believe, I say I do believe, I'm certain I literally made the rule. There is no specific ruling to say if we have a restart, you have to start on the same tyre, you have to pick the same setup, anything like that. You can technically change it in between any time we have a new setup, or new session, sorry. So it's surprising that everyone didn't change their mind. I thought maybe a few people might switch to a T-stop, but game's the game. Everyone's on the same as they were before. Now we're having a double check. I'd like, if anyone is on their screen saying they're on lap 1, to please inform me before we get to the grid. Ideally. F1 kid taking the extra chicane. A couple extra... Listen, it's key to warm your tyres. If you do more corners, you can warm your tyres more than you could have done before. It's a smart play from F1 kid there. Season 8 champions thinking huge here, except now he's just cutting corners. This is just what titles people do. They think outside the box, they get a little bit more inventive, and they move. Anyway. Yeah, we'll leave it as that. As I said, the strategies are still the same. Of course, no one's changed what they're on, so we're still expecting the same people to do the same stuff. Raul, GB, and Kieran to go long. The rest, a mix of 1s and 2 stops. A lot of them have a good option on those mediums, though, so we'll see what they want to do. If they're pitting in a little early, we might see some vibes. Otherwise, could be status quo on the grid. That was very close to clipping the wall from Dylan. He was about to be given cold tyres on his vehicle. Right, chat. Cross your fingers, please, if you're watching along. 1, for a good race, of course. Some nice, cool action. And 2, for the formation lap and to work. I really want it to work today. That's necessary. Ferraris are parking inside each other. That's not ideal. It decides to stop doing that. Double check if the usual suspects are going to be parking oddly. Pooch is trying to... He's trying to do some Mazza parking. Biden has failed at his parking attempt. No good parking for him. Okay. Formation lap seems to be functioning. The grid is looking like it's actually going to set off. We've got lights on the board, and for the final time in Season 10, I can finally say the line bar after the lights have done their bugging usual thing. We are racing in Abu Dhabi. And we head off, and that looks like a McLaren's had a nice wide moment and is trying to go down the inside of a few cars. I think, though, everyone's got away semi-cleanly. I stand corrected. The Aston Martins looked like both of them might have hit a car or two. There's a McLaren round. It's Jack down at the back. Kizzo and Kieran, I think, is the one who actually lost bound. Yeah, it was him who's lost a lot of ground. Down into 14th position. It went a little bit badly this time around for the McLarens. It was a nice start last time in the sprint. Not today. Only 1 casualty. There's still plenty of time to move as we go quickly on board with Razin into 5th place, where there's a little bit of a gap between him and the cars ahead. Meanwhile, the cars behind are having some moments. Is anyone going to have a little look? The Aston Martins again! Is that Pooch trying to go down the inside? I think it is. Now on the outside, pushed a tiny bit wide, but probably fairly. Can't get the position, has to sit in P8 and carry his way on the track. Everyone's still pretty close. There's a bit of a splinter here at the back between Kizzo, Bine, and Jack, who have... I'm not sure if any of them had specific moments, but they are there. I think I saw a yellow flag further ahead, but I'm not sure anyone got caused by it. It's Bine, sniffs for a move. Sniffs even more. Not sure if he can make this one stick the whole way around. We'll stay on board. We never have a look this far back, normally on the first lap. Oh, that was hella close. The lag make it look scary. That was hella close to Bine colliding with a car. That would have been a little bit worrying if that was a collision. At the front, though, half a second gap as the rest of them are settled in. Leader gap is what to the pack we're slowly seeing. It's not spread out too much. We're still pretty close together. What I want to see, though, is position changes. That is one of the marker boards gone. Front 5, the exact same order. That is rare. I never see that in NSL from at least the top 5. The rest are still chaining along as Josh is getting a few positions off from the back of the pack, is up into 9th place. To him, gain F1 Kid has gained 4. 3 up for both the Aston Martins, who low-key are cooking right now. Low-key from where they are, Safso and Pooch, and having a beautiful start. They should be working together highly here and making their way even further at the grid. That is not bad for them in the slightest, and I haven't seen that in a hot second. Couple more games for Kizzo and Bayern, but the McLarens are the biggest unfortunate losers in this NSL event, which is not what I want to see, but I mean, I'm not biased to them in this event. The one place I'm not biased to my own team is in NSL, which is sad. If they pay me money, I can. If they, listen, Jack, Kieran, pay me some funds, I'll be biased to the thing. Nah, we move. But so far, it's looking nice and good. Let's get tyres back on the screens. That's probably going to be more important. I also want to see if Sasso can start making some inroads. The other 2 hard runners, that wasn't Kieran, which was Raul and GB, one back to each other, although to be fair, Razin is currently hounding GB's car. But they haven't lost any positions, and they're kind of keeping touch with the rest of the cars near him, although GB looks like he's losing a little bit of ground, and Razin's going to probably want to make a decision. Does he pass him soon, or I don't know if he has to make a decision or if it's going to get made for him when there's a gap open up. Dylan getting the fastest lap of the race again, and has got a second gap to the car ahead. His usual rivals for race wins are like close enough around him, but like, for example, Josh and F1 Kid are quite far away with the usual top suspects. So this is prime opportunity to just build a gap, get this all going, and then no matter what happens, he just has free reign to respond. If they do something and he wants to hold on to his win, he's good. But I wouldn't count Ethan out of this one. He's still just about there. Raul isn't going to be on an alternate start. He will not be out of this fight later on as well. And obviously Razin and Safso and GB and all these lot are still here. Speaking of, Razin's up into P4. Finally got ahead of one of the hard tire runners to see if GB can keep in touch. And he looked like he was not out at sea, but losing a little bit of time, at least for a sector or two to the cars ahead. DRS might help him now, as I'm not sure if he actually got dipped out of it, as there's Safso having a look as well. Lurking. The two Aston Martins still lurking around. I honestly do feel like they're in a strong position as a team, but you just can't call what's happening on lap 3 out of 29. There's a long, long way to go before we can say anything for certain. Josh and F1 could also lurking behind the pair of those two, as the Aston Martin's got a bit too close in the braking. Hooch bottled it just for a second. He gets passed by F1 Kid, and Josh might set a move upon him as well in the next few corners. Just got tad too close. Don't know if he just got caught out by his teammate braking early, or if he just got too close and wasn't expecting that, but only one position dropped, but that's a key position to a key driver who is very quick on the racetrack and on soft tyres. Might live to regret that one in the long stages in the race. And this is also now forming a train behind Razin's vehicle. As obviously Razin being held up by, not held up, but catching GB so quickly. GB was losing time as well. They are now all just out of DRS range of the top 3. Raul's somehow just about hanging on to it as well, which is impressive stuff. Razin's got a lot on his plate right now. Got a whole Ferrari and a hard tyre. He's probably going to be happy to keep behind, because if he keeps him behind, it's going to be even harder for anyone else to overtake. But Safso and GB probably have other ideas. Down the inside goes GB, and down the inside goes Safso. Both on it. Razin, I think, can make the move. Meanwhile, further back, we've got Josh and F1 Kid making moves. Squeezed to the limit, but Josh still finds a way through. And meanwhile at the front, we've got Dylan and Ethan switching positions. I didn't think these two were even close enough to switch around. Ethan is in the lead of the race at the moment. We can't even focus on one position. This is brilliant racing at the front all over right now. Ethan into the lead of the race. Dylan down into second place. Raul's still keeping up, because as long as these guys fight, they make sure they don't run away from it, and as long as Ethan has a move like that, and they can absolutely keep up with him and have another go for the lead in a hot second. Raul is absolutely in this fight for the lead, at least right now. He's absolutely loving every second of these two, fighting ahead of him, having moments. They're also fighting behind him too, as Raul is followed by Safso now in 4th place. GB, who is still hanging on to a position ahead of some of the quicker runners behind, with Razin and F1 Kid away, and Safso now has been given free reign on his soft tyres to run away. I told you, those Aston Martins were in a good position. Who's didn't manage to have a good one, but Safso did, and Razin surprising me with a little look down the inside, and he's pulled it off nicely. Goes ahead of GB into 5th position, and as it's not going to be DRS for Razin as well, it is, and it isn't going to be for GB. He's going to be an absolute sitting duck. Passed by F1 Kid, passed by Josh, and is Josh going to have a little look on F1 Kid as well? Hits him on the way through. I don't think he wanted to make a move. I think he just got caught out by how much momentum he could carry compared to F1 Kid, and almost caused a bigger collision, but thankfully it was just a little love tap and nothing more. Back in the lead we go. The front 3 are still going. Dylan is now back into the lead of this event. Ethan's relegated back to 2nd. The more these guys fight as well, it plays so into the hands of Safso and everyone else behind. I don't thought any of these front 3 would have wanted to just settle in to a nice rhythm and just pull away. As I see a little spin, I think that is for one of these. Might have been for Crownfish. I'm not too sure which one of them it was for. But the front 3 would have wanted to just try and pull away and get a gap while everyone else was fighting. And unfortunately, they've just started fighting, which means there's no benefit to anyone right now. There's absolutely none. Nova, welcome in to the stream. I hope you're doing good. It's good to see you. Hope everything is vibing today. We've had a great day of stream so far today. There's a lot of action going on in there, so I'm switching in and out of commentary mode all over the gaff. But it's a good day. I hope you're doing good. Sit back and relax. You're about to see some action, I think. Some prime, beautiful action on the road for the people. I still don't know what to call this. Oh god, there's been more moves again. Oh, there's more than moves, there's collisions! Is F1 Kid and Josh colliding again? Somehow these two keep getting close to the racetrack in the last few races. I'm not sure how it went down as I came on board a little bit too late. But they made contact again as those soft tyres are going to slowly become not the quicker tyre. This might go a bit more rogue. Josh is, for the rare time, I never see this on like 10% or less battery. I never see him on this low of a battery, which means he actually is actively pushing in this fight. And so is F1 Kid. His car is equally flashing battery-wise as well. He's going to try and send his move around the outsides. Can't stick it for now. Yeah, we're going to see some vintage racing. The front two are finally stayed in the same order for a lap. Ethan, whilst fighting, has got himself a track limit penalty. That's a huge bummer L onto his race so far. He's losing time as well. He didn't need that on his head. He did not need a penalty possibly on his head. That one's going to hurt. But I think I might have possibly... No, not before I saw Razin send a move. It was not that. It's Safso into the pits early. Well, not early, because so is F1 Kid at the same time. Not too bad. Soft Runners managed 6 laps into their race. I think that roughly sounds about... I think it's still a tiny bit early, but it sounds about right. You can probably play around with your medium tyre lap, so... That's okay. We'll see when those guys filter into the pack. We'll get a leader gap later on and have a little look at that in a second. As those guys depart from the train, Razin gets a little bit of breathing space between him and some other cars for the first time in a hot second. Still got Josh a little bit away, just outside of a second, but if he drops just a tiny bit of battery, which Josh only has a tiny bit of battery, probably can sneak into DRS in a second. GB following closely, and Pucci's not exactly been detached. Even after that little error, he's still here in this run. He's, what, 6 seconds off the lead. That's a playable range. Dylan now finally has got back to having a second gap over anyone else behind him. And Raul is still happily sat behind Ethan's car, though, as those two have a great time with each other, so I'm sure it'll be fun. Right, that's my first break in waffle for the first time in about 4 seconds. I should say, by the way, no, I'm doing good. I know half of the people in the chat are actually in the race as well, so I'd love for them to reply, but they're slightly stressful right now. They're slightly stressed. But I've been doing good today. My day's been good. I've been fine. It's been a good day. Got some productive stuff done. This is all I can ask for. Being productive is a nice feeling. It's a nice feeling in the island. We'll take it. We'll take it. I think Raul might take a position on... And these two pull in DRS games! There's absolutely no way I've caught that live. Absolutely, of course, these two are pulling DRS games in this day and age. Absolutely, of course they are. Because there's no rhyme or reason for them to be slowing and lifting at turn 1 when there's no one else near them. That is absolutely DRS games if I've ever seen it. And let's see if it pays off. Let's see if it pays off. Ethan is the one who got the victor on it. And he's waiting! He's pulling it again! These two are still going! These two normally in the racetrack, unfortunately, collide. But they're trying to play mind games now. But Ethan, whilst doing so, has absolutely dropped the rear of his car, which means the mind games are absolutely for nothing. And he stays behind. That's the risk. If you play the games like that, you put a little bit extra pressure on yourself to make a mistake. As Razin, Josh, and GB, and Pooch are all going for it further back. Josh is going wide again. The amount of times I've seen Josh go wide at that corner today, or in general, is quite crazy. I'm very surprised he's got away with so little / non track limit penalties. Because he has definitely visited the outside of the racetrack a significant amount. I know it was a meme in a few races, but this is actually quite a trend now. Josh he's drives smart to make sure he doesn't get a penalty from the few wide moments he does collect when he's racing a little harder than expected. But he's still going, he's still fine. He's not bad. Some old English teacher when I went out for dinner today. No, I thought you said you went out for dinner with your old English teacher. I was like, damn, that's weird. But fair enough. That's cool. I want to, seeing an old teacher from like school days is kind of fun. Cool nostalgia. Catch up and see what everyone's doing. Yeah, the alternative what I thought I read was odd. I was like, I don't know about that one. I don't know what those was. I mean, that's good to hear. That is quite nice. Yeah, cool. I hope you guys. Did you catch up or did you just see them and then like just didn't speak to them? There he goes, that just finally passing Razin again. I don't know what to call any of this battle of racing right now. It's leapfrogging a lot, there's nowhere to call strategy-wise, it's all a bit in the mix. So Raul and Ethan are back close together again. Raul is now the car behind. It looks like the game might have been played. He has a little look around the outside. Is he actually going to have a go around the outside? He is, claims the move done. 4 seconds of a gap roughly between these two and Dylan. But these two probably won't care. They're happy to fight for second for now. And we'll see if any of the Razin, Josh, and Poochko can get a little bit closer. The Pooch is a little bit detached now than he was before. Gap now is 7.7 between the top 7 towards the front. Getting a little bit bigger. The people who pitted, by the way, Safso and F1 Kid, 20 seconds. They're both also within 2 tenths of each other. They're following very closely. But they're now both happily within a pit stop of first place. If first place pits, Dylan would end up there. Like, either in between those two or behind them. If the longer it goes on, it will definitely be behind them, which is expected. But now is no safe pitting time. So if he wanted a a 2-stop himself, have a little bit of traffic to attend with. But again, him. Caught up with how I'm doing. That's nice. I like that. I want to do that with. I want to have like a reunion day at my high school. But they haven't done one, and I've not heard about one. But just wanted like not even to see teachers and stuff, just to walk around the old school. I just want to see how it's changed since I was there, because it's been a concerning amount of time since I've been there. Because I'm a fan officially old now. It's quite weird, and I don't like it. Ethan and Raul are swapping positions again in the background whilst we're seeing that. I mean, they've given up on the games. They're now just going for it. If I'm behind, I'm overtaking you. Let's have a little watch again. 3/4 tenth gap. Last time round we saw this, Ethan was ahead. Raul picks his spot on the outside of the track. Ethan manually opts to give him the position. That was definitely him lifting and just letting him through there. I'm confused at the mind game tactical genius that they're trying to play. Because even if this is working for DRS, surely the more you do this, this is a viable strat, like, every now and then. I don't mind it. Like, a lot of people don't like the DRS chicken sort of thing in races and stuff, and they think it's cheesy and whatever. I don't mind it because I think it's a smart, cool thing to do. And as long as you're not endangering another car whilst doing it, it's fine. But I'd only do it when there's no other time I'm gonna... I don't care if I lose time. The last few laps of the race, I don't care if someone catches me, I'm finishing the race wherever I'm finishing. Before any pit stops have taken place or anything, is a bit of a risk to start giving away 3/10 of a second. They gave away a second for free at turn 1 when they first did this. And I don't get why. I have no clue why you'd freely do that. Unless you're guaranteeing a safety car, which if you don't, then that second's never coming back. That's the only thing I have concern with it. Otherwise, it's a fair game to try and race hard and see what you're going to do. I guess if they think they're never catching first place, sure, but then you're inviting pressure from behind. I have no clue. Currently, we have Ethan into second place again. Has a bit of a moment. He's been struggling with the rear out that corner a couple of times now over this whole weekend. Let's see if Raul can set himself up. He's going to do the same setting as he did before. He's going to, no, not going to fight any harder than he did the last time. Ethan lets him through. Raul into second place. Josh and Razin now have caught, as those two have still been leapfrogging and switching positions. Razin has got a 2.2 second gap to Pooch. Now that's got a little bigger than I thought as well. And it's mainly because these two are getting busy on the racetrack. That sounds sus. But they are, as they're losing the rear like that, as Chiefy is hunting down Pooch on the racetrack. Medium tires are starting to feel a little old now. They should be due in for a stop in a couple laps. So it makes sense. But the hard tires will still have a little bit extra life in them. And probably, for the first time, will feel better. By a good margin. Why now is Raul and Ethan 6.4 seconds away? I swear it was not even that 2 seconds ago. This is what I mean. It was 5 seconds 30 seconds ago. I don't believe they need to be I don't know if this is just me missing out on them going side by side and losing a lot of time. Which in that case it happens. You can't. That loses your time, but you can't help it. If they're playing games and doing this is absolutely a waste of time and every categorical measurement under the sun. But they're still doing it, and now they can't afford to keep doing it as Josh is taking part. He had a little look down the inside. They can't afford to now jostle freely. Everyone else is on job and waiting to go. I think the only possible advantage in anyone here is the fact that Raul has the probably just about best tyres. As on a hard turn, it can keep going for a little bit longer as he goes around the outside into turn... I'm not sure what turn it is, actually, but into P2 he goes, at least. I'll not bother talking about the turn. This is going to get ahead to... I don't think they can afford to keep doing this. As well as there is a penalty on Ethan's name, but we'll deal with that later. On track, this is a lot. This is a lot. Yeah, team, welcome in, by the way. Good to see you. And very nearly got a speeding ticket. I'm glad you didn't, but how very nearly did you get one? What are we talking? What are we talking? Like you strayed over and just clocked? Or like you... Tell me the story without incriminating stuff. Ideally. That'll be useful. Into the pits we go with Pooch, by the way. That's a semi-early stop for a one-stop. it's a bit late for... No, is it early? No, it's actually probably fine. Actually, that's probably okay. Let's have a little look. He obviously has pitted a little early as well. Yeah, it's fine. I misjudged what time it actually was. Pitches out onto the stops, onto his brand new hard tyres. See how he goes. On the racetrack. Little reminder of where Sasso and F1 Kiddo looks like they've been doing probably the correct thing on the time perspective. Not on a singular perspective for one driver, but been raking in the time and the laps. They're now 15 to 16 seconds away as, have you guessed it? Ethan has repassed Raul again on this straight. But this time, Josh has also passed. Which makes Raul's job even harder, but they are teammates, so will they be working together to possibly leapfrog past him? Or is it going to be an easy defense? Ethan this time is defending this position. He's not been putting any effort into defending that when Raul goes through because they're playing the game. But as soon as Josh is on the scene, he has a go. Raulik has had an issue of skill there. And I'm so surprised he didn't accidentally bin that in the wall. He was so close. That is... And it's a skill issue to drop it, but a nice piece of skill to keep it. Not bad. Not bad. Stays into P4 anyways, as Josh and Ethan have switched around and Josh has been possibly unleashed. As they are both into the pits. Raul obviously staying out a little bit longer, and so is Razin. That one is unexpected. I expected if Josh came in that Ethan might as well just to cover it off, but I didn't expect Razin to do the same. Maybe he just thinks he's got some extra pace that he can finally use. That is a car DNF'd. That is a safety car, and the timing of that could not be better for any of the cars who stayed out in the pits. Josh and Ethan might just be fuming at that. They might just possibly be slightly fuming at the categorical bad timing. Maybe one of them should have considered staying out if the other one pits in. A Lando moment might have just ran through on literally a perfect time to stop from a one-stop strategy perspective. They might have just been finessed a little bit. Let's see what we have going. So we have... Raul has got a slightly painful moment, I want to say, because he's going to have to run a medium tyre longer than he wants to, but he can still absolutely make it to the end. Any hard tyre runners, GB included, can still make it onto the end on our medium. It's just going to be a little bit sketchier. And they're going to have to take it. It's a free stop. You don't give those away for free. They might not come around again. But everyone else was on a normal medium. Razin, who stayed out, I was slightly confused by, but now it's going to work out perfectly. Dylan obviously in the lead, go hanging as long as you can. You earn that buffer of a time, and it gives you the advantage of waiting a little bit longer, and this can happen. And Safso, an F1 kid, who did bits to run through the grid and overtook as many people as they could on time by the time they pitted in. They've got options now. They can either commit to their two-stop and keep one more, as I believe there was a Bine and Josh... I believe those guys were jostling between out of the pits, as I saw one of them wasn't ahead. I'm not sure if they knew who was actually meant to be ahead. That might be why he's got the 5 seconds there. But either way, I guess that's figured out now. Yeah, Sasso and F1 Kid, if they're pitting again, it's free gain. They just committed and gained extra position for this whole race. I don't know who's gained the most here. Pretty much every single one of the top 6 has gained huge... Well, no, sorry, the top 7, because Bine is still... Bine is still going. These 3 are still... Why are they still jostling position-wise, is my question. I'm well aware that these 3 are... Like, they came out incredibly close out of the pits. But why are they still jostling position now, is my question. I'm very confused what the hell is going on. Surely by this point in lap, you've figured out, okay, either the game thinks you're in this order, or we know we're in this order, blah, blah, blah. Why they were still doing that, I have no clue. I don't know why. Anyways, they're still doing their thing. They're now finally settled into an actual position. Ahead comes out GB, Razin, Raul, and Dylan. Medium tyres on the road for Raul and GB is actually going to give them a nice, at least, initial advantage. They will have a good pace advantage for a few laps on Dylan and on Razin. So if they want to make the most of that before those tyres age off, and to be fair, a safety car means at least the tyres won't have to do as much hard work. It's not out of the question that Raul can pull off a win from this position, and it's not out of the question that GB couldn't pull off a nice podium or win of his own. Absolutely on the cards. The confusing thing, though, is why is Vine not pitted at all? So he stayed out, obviously, after the stops. Came out ahead of Josh and Ethan as we saw them jostling for a worryingly long time for pretty much an entire lap for position. I don't know why everyone always messes around the safety car. I'm just like, let the game style either way. For some reason that still keeps happening. It stresses me out. But on a strategy point of view, I don't believe that's a smart call from Bayern's car. I don't know if he's here to, if this is a benefit to anyone. Is this going to help out anyone else? But he's not in a team with anyone else, so there's no one else he can personally be benefiting. This is surely just a detrimental point to him. As that, I believe, is Pooch in the pits. Gets a track limit on the final pit entry corner, as that has unfortunately always been a risk of accidentally doing that. For context, I do believe if you cross the line slightly oddly, it does that, but I believe as long as he doesn't get any more track limit warnings, he can get that removed, but that depends if he doesn't get any more warnings. It's not ideal. I'm confused. Anyways, I guess Bayern is fully committing to just the whole... Well, he's stayed out now. He's got to firm his decision and see what he goes on to. Maybe he goes for a medium soft. Yes, that's also an option. Yeah, I think it's one of those where like you've took the risk and now you either cut your losses and then you're guaranteed to be bad, or you at least try and see if this can work. But I don't think this is ever meant to work. Let's see. Let's watch with great interest. Maybe there's a late safety car again and he gets to pit and have a never cheap stop. I don't think that gains, but... We see. He was so far back at the grid, I guess you got to try something. I don't know. Anyways. Safety car surely will be coming in on the end of this lap, I think. I think most of the grid is close enough that it will deem it safe to go. We'll see how the... It's so weird. I've realized that the Alfa Romeo... Like, I've not seen that in real life in a while, and it's odd to see it in a game, and even in F1 esports. Just skinned it in green. It's odd that I'm seeing this bit. But anyways, an Alfa Romeo, yeah, not a kick Sauber. We'll try and get used to calling that next game. Not Steak, not using that one. Let's see how we can get away. Dylan's always had many experienced times of starting or restarting the grid, so he'll surely have not too much stress involved on doing this part. City won the loop. Probably an own goal from Tottenham. Damn. Surprised it only took that long. You know, Clown is a little bit away. I'm wondering though, I believe the game can just normally say, as long as the majority is close together, it's fine. I've not normally seen it bother to wait for singular car if the rest of them are there, but apparently the game is really wanting to wait. Normally I've seen the game, as long as most of the grid's close together, it's like, yeah, it's fine. Like, even if there's one car away, it's tough luck on them, but no, the game's kind enough. Jack is going to get his chance to catch back up. He will be able to catch the back of the pack, and it won't be too disadvantageous for him. Okay. Unfortunately, that does mean another lap of the cars, unfortunately, still being on the same... And the only reason I don't like people on the safety castle's formation lap is because apparently not a single person in NSL has ever been well behaved on the one. They simply have no ability to... Dylan's almost overtaken a safety car. They all collectively have no ability to just follow each other in a singular line and not accidentally overtake or cause an issue. It happens every time. I want it in because it's a cool feature and stuff, but like they struggle with it. They all, as a collective, not a singular person. As a collective, they struggle. I don't like seeing multiple laps under it. Bayern is still going on who's driving. The safety car is still not in. I just suspect this is a lap it's going to be in. This strategy, I'm confused. It's Bayern doing a Tom Manley, but I'm confused what for. I get it if he had a teammate that he could help to like gain ahead of him, and he's backing people up. I believe it was. Yes, by the way. But he doesn't. Unless I'm an idiot, he's the only Red Bull. I'm confused who he's assisting here. He's friends with people here, but he hasn't got a teammate here. And even if I'm friends with someone, I ain't helping you unless you're my teammate. That's the rules. I don't know. He is inadvertently, though, going to help the top four regardless. That will be happening. Whether he means to or not, for as long as he stays every single sector he keeps ahead of Josh, etc. behind, he will be helping these top four to run away and do their battle. But it's also up to those top fours we saw earlier in this race to not fight so much that all the advantage they get gifted gets thrown away by them going side by side, which... Try telling any cars to do that whilst racing. They're not going to do it. They're not going to be kind and say, let's go in a straight line, let's line up, pull away, and then fight. No one's... Not here. Esports, maybe. And even in esports this season, they barely did that. They went rogue. As racing drivers do when they have things on the line. So, we'll see how this one goes down. Lap 17, we're about to start lap 18. Safety car is pretty much in the pits and on the way to go. We'll get on board with Dylan and see when he sets off. It's now! Good to find a few corners. He chose to set off right here. Let's see how the rest of the grid reacts. It seems to be a nice getaway. Not too bad of a reaction from Raul along that. Fairly close. Goes wide and probably collects a track limit warning for his troubles. A nice wobble from one of the Aston Martins further back. And this is the thing I actually want to mainly keep an eye on, as Bine and Josh have made contact! And that is Bine out of the session, and that is why we kept an eye on it. Okay. Huge collisions. And surprisingly enough, there's an ever safety car. Surprisingly, there's an ever safety car. The two Red Balloon teams have collided together. I didn't expect to see some carnage happen that quickly. I'm not gonna lie, I thought it would happen just a little later with some holdups. But already it's happened again. And the one person who probably needed the next safety car is the one who's out. So, right, I would love to watch that back because I don't know. I don't know what to call that one. You know what, we're going to clip that in the Xbox. I want to see it. I want to see that one back again. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. Safety car is going again, chap. It does give anyone else another opportunity to possibly have a little change. Mainly the people at the back have another free opportunity to switch out tyres. They can possibly risk a soft tyre if they want now to gain some huge positions and hang on to the end, which I suspect maybe one or two of them might. They'll all have free soft tyre spares. Obviously, we've restarted the session. They've got brand new full sets. I can't spike! Okay. I don't know who's more at fault. I mean, Josh and Biden is a collision I didn't expect to see. I mean, they were the two cars near each other, so I guess I should have on that base, but I don't know. It was a weird play from the whole exit of the pit lane. That confused me enough. Oh, that is a good point I didn't even consider, by the way. Forget all of this. Most of the front runners are starting to pit. Forget everything else. Most of the front runners are actually considering pitting. Okay. We'll deal with the rest of that later. We got a race strategy to point out. So, Raul and Dylan are staying where they are. But we have GB's back in third? I swear Ethan was... Okay, maybe I've just lost track of where people were. No, GB was in third. So, Razin's pitted out onto a brand new medium. Josh is pitted onto a new medium. I'm not sure if he fixed his car, if he had any damage or not. But if he has, then he looks like he's roughly where he should have been. So I don't think he had any damage. Safso onto a soft tyre. F1 onto new mediums. Kieran onto new mediums. And soft tyres for Pooch and Jack on the McLarens. This just gives, as I said, it gives a few people an opportunity to go for it. China Season 9 repeat is calling. It's a good call. For context, for Season 9 in China, Dylan, I believe, had a nice-ish buffer. Had the lead, had it in control. Late safety cars came around. A lot of people came into pit. Dylan couldn't. And they caught him up, reeled him in, and just about nicked the win off him. This is an opportunity again for a few cars to do the same on either him or at least a few of the front runners. There's opportunities and chances here for some people to nick podiums. Razin is in currently probably the lead spot to do it, but not on the best tyres. Safso has shown big pace today, and is definitely still there. I mean, if he overtakes those two cars, it's on him to try it. Cinema is all I'm saying. I want to go and have a look at this clip. Hopefully it doesn't disconnect me whilst I'm having a look at this. Here's the shower. In fact, you know what? I'm going to send it to my phone. So that way, I don't have to accidentally risk the chance of this lobby disconnect. That way I can send it to my PC and I can watch it. Because I'm not breaking my server here. This race is going far too intriguing to find out. Delete some capture. Oh, I'm not allowed to load it. Oh, good. This is just not going to let me. He's going to ban me from it. Right, we'll look at it quickly ourselves. I want to see this from the start. Just a quick little look. Further back. I'm intrigued. It's... Okay. I see. They were both just... I'm not going to do judging on Stuart's thing. I just want to briefly see my own eyes what I thought happened. But yeah, it wasn't... Whew. Okay. Alright. That's some moments. We've missed some stuff in the meantime. That's your guys' look if you wanted to have a little look at it again. Feel free to comment on what you like at it. But yeah, I don't think it's anywhere near as bad as I expected. It just was a massive crash from it. The actual incident itself didn't look as bad as I thought. But will probably still be looked at, surprisingly, maybe. I suspect the ticket will be open. As we missed, though, Razin and Safso, as I thought, I was thinking this briefly before I clicked over there. Even though you're on a soft tyre, a lap on a soft tyre is a bit of wear. Like, it's not a much, but it would be a little bit of wear, even on the safety car. So ideally, you want to time it now, just when the safety car comes in, so you have brand new soft tyres on the thing. I thought maybe Razin might do it. I thought Safso could also do it, but he's already on a soft, he might just commit to it. Both of them chose. Pitting in again. Brand new soft. They're risking losing a few oppositions on track, but if it's a safety car, then time-wise, you're only losing at least off the initial restart, half a second to a second at most. Watch out for these two. Surely, though, these two have got to race together. Like, they can't afford to fight each other on this lap. They both have a very, very strong chance of hunting down, at minimum, a podium, possibly more. They have a super strong chance at it. It's just up to them to see if they can work well and do it. And also, it's up to these guys to see if they can still win. I mean, they've still got Raul and GB, who, if they don't, those guys don't catch these guys quick enough, they still have the advantage on Dylan on a slightly better tyre. It's not the best tyre out there right now, but it's still better than Dylan's hard tyre. Dylan, on the other hand, is getting deja vu once again. We'll see what he can pull off. So one of the quickest drivers out there on the track, but he's probably got one of the slowest tyres on the track. And the most delta of tyres between him and everyone else. And it looks like Dylan has opted to go now. We are back underway, starting lap 21. Hopefully we can actually get past Sector 1 with all the cars before we get another safety car, or hopefully just without another safety car. It looks like we've already got F1 Kid possibly having to move on Kizzo further back. The front five staying as they are so far. And I think the rest of the grid have stayed well behaved through the final few corners. Couple more cars going wide, both of my cars going wide in fact. And I think I just saw Safso trying to send his way past. I'm glad I spotted that. I think that wasn't seeing the Aston Martin having a little go at him there. Safso's been left back just a little bit, struggling at the back with the back markers. That's not what he wants to see. The amount of time he's losing to anyone else is huge. And meanwhile, at the front, we've got Dylan and Raul switching positions finally. Boxed in slightly as GB goes for a send. Dylan starts to third position. Dylan couldn't do anything. He was pretty much boxed in by all the cars having an attempt. Now Josh is having a little look on Dylan's car. I think, no, he's more having a look at Ethan before he gets anywhere near the Alfa Romeo. Dylan's work is cut out, and Safso again is still stuck in 12th place. Finally up into 11th. He got stuck behind the McLaren there for a little bit longer than he wanted, but is finally through. Razid, in the meantime, gained 2 whole seconds on Safso. That's how much time they lost in that whole little bit. Razid so far is doing the most right now. He had to cook straight away from the start, and he's doing it. I'm going to leave the leader gap on, because that's probably going to be way huger to look at. How much free air can Razin work with if he gets any at any point in time? How many overtakes can he pull off? He's got to pull them off pretty much every single corner at all times, because even though he's got 7 laps, that's not a lot of time when everyone else ahead is fighting aggressively. He does pull off a nice move. Into turn 1, is he going to stick it? He is, up into P8. Keep an eye on that one. We'll see if it can go. Pooch is also currently the lead runner on a soft tyre, so keep an eye on that one too. As he's following these guys in their fantastic train as F1 Kid sends it down the inside on Ethan's car. And to be fair, there was still track space to be given, so I guess that's a fair move. F1 Kid heads his way into P5, and Dylan is now fighting again. He's up into second again. Raul starts to run away by roughly a second. GB decides to wait behind, opt for the DRS on the next straight. Dylan will also get it, though, as he didn't get dropped by a second. That's huge. The fact that GB didn't send it there is probably beneficial to GB himself, but also huge for Dylan's race that he didn't lose a heap of time, because that could have been him done. He's out of DRS of Raul. There's no way he's seeing the back of that AlphaTauri for the rest of the race. And he's toast. This is going to be huge. I mean, to be fair, though, those mediums will still become even to these hard tyres. I don't think they'll become worse than the hard tyres in the rest of this race. They might, but they'll at least become even. Which means Dylan is not out as long as he stays in touch with those hard tires. Ethan is now down to 7th place. That's the opposite end of what can happen if you're stuck in a hard tyre. It can go, unfortunately, just a complete wrong way. And that's what happens. The first safety car gifted so many people. The second one took that gift straight away from him. And then they're back in this position. That's the look of the draw. The safety car can be helping you, and sometimes it can completely finesse. You just got to be on the right end of it at the right time and see what happens, which you can obviously never predict. And there's nothing you can say about that. Josh looking like he wants to try and get another race win. Got to try and get into position to do that, and sets up a semi-nice move on GB. Didn't pull it off under the brakes, but doesn't pull it off under the corner, to be fair. GB is still there, and both still have DRS. They're going to be tugging down the line. Who's got the best straight line speed, folks? Who's deploying the battery? It looks like Josh currently has the edge, but there's still plenty of room to go down the insides. I thought I was going to say plenty of room for GB to break later, but Josh did exactly what I thought GB would do. Into the podium positions we go is Josh and Dylan. How in the world have you caught the car ahead of you? How in the world is Dylan doing this? He has managed to catch Raul in any shape or form. Like, how? I don't understand that. I didn't think he'd have anywhere near enough pace tire-wise to even try and mount an attack again. Maybe that crossover is a little bit sooner than expected. They're still side by side, but more importantly, Dylan can still fight for this, which means all of these 5 have a chance to be trying to be in the front before any of the others try and catch up. But to be fair, though, Razin stalled out a bit. 4.8 seconds away, he stalled out with his charge. It might be a tough ask now. I thought he'd make even bigger ground, at least need to make bigger ground to catch up and get past any of the other ones. Pooch is the lead soft runner, is only getting another 6 attempts into his scene. I don't think the soft tire runners are going to be close enough. Maybe Sasso and Razin might have made a mistake on pitting again. As there we go, F1 sends a move on GB out into the hairpin and dates himself into P4. Maybe it was a good risk. I respect the risk of trying. As these guys are all fighting a lot. I respect the risk of trying to go for that extra soft tire and get the maximum advantage. But I feel like they took a bit too much. And now it might be biting him again. This is a risk. Safety cars offer you chances to take big risks. And sometimes they can still be risk and still go badly. It's a scary time. Josh is, by the way, in the lead of this train. I'm not sure how the hell that's happened. I don't know who's going to get the ass out of this train. It is not Josh. That's all I can tell you. The rest will be collecting it. As into this corner we go. I don't know who's going to be in the lead of it. I think I saw Josh's car flashing with his battery in there. I did. This is twice now I'm seeing Josh actually having to use his battery. Mostly. He's been in the middle of the pack a lot of this race, which obviously him starting in the back will do to you. But I'm normally just surprised because I normally see him managing it so well he doesn't need to use it until the last stage of the race. Dylan is still in the race lead. How? I don't know. And he's pulling away by a couple attempts. Don't know how he's managing that. Now, how nicely the rest of these guys going to fight? We're on to lap 25. Again, if the guys behind work together and all just sit in a train and pull each other along and then all overtake Dylan, or at least all try and overtake him, it'll be nice and fun. And then they can work on who's first later. No one's going to do that, and considering F1 can see that Josh is running out of battery and he knows he's got 40%, I strongly suspect he might just, you know, take a risk and go for second himself and not wait for Josh to do it. Which might happen now, as the gap's quite close. 4/10 of a second between Josh and Thingy. Forget that. I mean, I know that's not the bigger gap. But I think this might become 3 wide, actually. Forget what I was going to say. As there we have a look. F1 Kid's going to try and send it. Doing more than trying. He's getting himself into P2. That will be a splendid move from F1 Kid. Can he make a double move in 2 corners? F1 Kid opts to... No, F1 Kid opts to go down the inside. Dylan opts to go on the outside. And somehow... isn't completely outdone through the corner, to be fair. He is pretty much yielding that position, but I thought he would get smoked on speed. And he's still there. Battery check, I'm going to have to assume. No, F1 Kid's still got battery in his hand. He's also got one of the best medium tyres on the track right now. Him and Josh are the newest ones. Raul was doing that with Dylan on equal age tyres at least, but they were different compounds. This time F1 Kid has a huge advantage tyre-wise. He might try and pull away from this one. And actually succeed. If you don't do that too much coming out of the corner exits. Let's have a little look. Well, leading out looks like it's not going to be too big of an issue, considering with the soft tire runners. We'll go back to interval. Theoretically, it's going to be a bigger play. Season 8 champ in first place. Season 9 champ in second. Season 10 in third. It's not too bad. It's not too bad of a sight. I kind of like seeing it. It's kind of cool. Proud moments for NSL there. And also, hard racing going on between every single one of them, showing they also got the ability that they had when they won their championships. The 4 of these guys all in a nice train. Pooch still lurking a little bit for about 3 seconds away as Razin has overtaken GB and might be starting to close in on possibly getting Pooch. But yeah, that gap to the leader is probably just way too big. I think he needed like... If this was maybe lap 25, the game restarted and everyone was on the same age tyres, and that's when he put on a set of saucers, I think GB... Oh my sweet Jesus! Razin, Sasso, GB, all out of the race. What happened? I was just talking about the fact that they couldn't take more risks because they was too far away. How big risks did they take that all 3 of them are out of the event? Oh my god. And it is a full safety car on lap 26. It says virtual, but the safety car is out on the track. Don't be the game isn't updated yet. In other words, I don't know what happened between them because I looked away, but we're about to see cinema if anyone doesn't pit here. Is anyone taking a risk is my question. No, everyone's being safe and pitting in. Raul looks like he's got the track limit thing on coming into the pit lane again, as that's still classifying that. I'm going to leave that to deal with that later with the stewards because that's too much of a mess for me to figure out now. That's going to hurt, at least on the track, him getting himself the win, as he's also going to be stuck behind his teammate. But otherwise, we're going to see red tyres on every single vehicle's car that's still on the racetrack right now. If anyone doesn't pit, I'm confused. Very, very confused. I didn't see what happened. All I knew is I saw them starting to be side by side before the end of the big straight, but I looked away, and something went down. Abu Dhabi is delivering with content. I don't know what else. I don't know if it's delivering. I don't know. I simply do not know. I don't understand. We have seen someone not pit though. Kieran has opted to stick on his same soft tyres. Because he thought he could possibly gain a position or two, staying out. I guess if he doesn't, either way, he can just pit in, and he's not exactly going to lose anything. But the safety car's not going to stay out for more than one lap, right? Because the game doesn't let it stay out on the last lap. It's not going to let an Abu Dhabi 2021 in terms of last lap battle, not any of the other stuff. Don't worry about that, because you're going to traumatize me if you tell me. It's not going to let it go any longer, so I think we'll, at minimum, have to get this safety car in now, in fact. It will have to come in at the end of this lap. I don't remember if I'm thinking this right for the game, but it simply never stays out longer than this. Well, in that case, this is about to be... It is. There you go. Can confirm. It is in. I was correct. We're about to see an absolute classic with the remainder of cars in this race. There is not a single position that is set. No one is safe in the track right now. There is penalties on the track for a few cars. I'm going to leave that on there because that's probably half important. 3 seconds for Raul, Ethan and Pooch. 6 for Jack and 9 for Kizzo and Kieran at the back. But for the leaders, and to be fair, even if you've got 3 seconds of penalties, regardless if they're getting cleared or not, who knows, there's still nothing telling that you can't win this race from here. I have absolutely no clue how this ends. Any of these cars wins this. Anyone top 6 and up, I'm saying, can win this. If something crazy happens, slash if they just get the jump. 2 laps of absolute cinema racing is about to take place. Not a bad way to end NSL in Season 10 after the longest season we've ever had. Which will never happen again, season length-wise. F1 Kids opted now as the time to go. No blocking of the rears going around the corner. Ethan goes a little bit wide on the final bit, and the Mercedes and the McLarens are already going side by side for the back. But more importantly, at the front, we are racing on lap 28 of this event. There's not much more we can go. How many the DNFs is happening because they're doing stuff on the racetrack. There's a lot to look back on if I get a chance to see some other angles because I simply don't know what to say about it. I can't tell you how. Stuff went down. There's only 9 points played. Well, there's 10 points positions left, but only 9 of them are going to get claimed today. Trying to say everyone as long as you finish being in the points. Let's see what we got. No DRS for this lap. Or the next. In fact, we're not going to have any DRS at all, in fact, for these laps. This is going to be purebred racing between all these cars and nothing more because we won't get a single ounce of it. There's not enough laps left to go. Pure battery, pure driving ability, and pure vibes. And the first one on the scene to have a go at the race win is going to be Dylan. Goes out on the inside after being shown shown a very open door. Is he going to be able to stick it so far? I don't think he can. He's going to have to settle for second position. Oh my lord, he's trying it down the outside. No, he isn't. Oh my lord, he's trying to squeeze his way through, but F1 Kid is still there. That corner's nice. It gives you the option. You can still be sent, but you can still have enough space to bring it back round and bring the switcheroo on for your own car. He's still trying to squeeze his way around. The more you do that, though, you're going to fight Josh and the rest of them all on the ride. Let's start the last lap, everyone. Fastest lap getting traded amongst everyone. Pooch is currently the fastest lap holder at the moment, in 5th position. Again, any of these still wins this if anything crazy happens. I have no clue. I think we're about to see a monumental moment happen. Someone's got to start taking some risks. We see down into the hairpin. Does anyone take a send? Dylan pulls off a nice little attempt down the inside, but can't stick it. F1 Kid stays ahead. And again, there's no DRS. This is pure battery and vibes. Equidistant between the front 3. Are we going to see minimum 3 wide? He does find a space down the inside. Almost saw 4 wide. Almost tries to make the space. He is kind of in the lead. He is officially in the lead. Josh is trying to make his way around the outside. They're all fighting for that inside line. Dylan, F1 Kid, Josh is the order right now. Outrageous scenes, but Dylan currently is in the lead. Josh is trying to stick around the outside and is trying with all his might, but hasn't got enough space to do it. Now we're going to see if anyone can squeeze it down the inside with enough of a send. And I think F1 Kid tried to find an extra bit of space to send it, But he couldn't because the car was closed. There's an Aston Martin round. Pooch is spun around and is probably going to lose a couple positions. They're still going round a few corners. I think there might be an illegal overtake in there somewhere. I don't know at all. Dylan, I don't even know what to call that. Has won one of the greatest endings in NSL I've seen in a race. F1 Kid in second place, Josh in third, Ralph fourth, Ethan fifth, Pooch does stop the Malcolm across in sixth with no front wing, then Kizzo, Kieran, and Jack is eventually going to wrap up the line. Jesus Christ, what a race of everything. It had everything in that. That last race, people tried moves and sins I've never seen done before in NSL. And half of them got pulled off. Abu Dhabi, again in NSL history, keeps delivering a race result that is entertaining, and it shouldn't do that. I have slated this several times and it keeps accidentally doing it. I don't know how it's doing it, but the game's the game. GG's to everyone who's survived the race in general, because I think it was that crazy that saying that is mental. And GG's to Dylan for managing to keep the lead there. F1 Kid, Josh, Raul, every single one of you lot. You delivered some insane racing there. That was some fun times. Whew. I think we can look at the provisional results, Raul. I think that's allowed. I don't know if any possible removals happen or whatever. I have absolutely no clue. If they do, I believe the nearest car that gets it doesn't even take the race win, so I know the race win will definitely stay the same. But Dylan has won the event. 25 points to his name. Back on top in NSL again for the first time since... Oh, hang on, I think he has won a race since he's returned. Am I an idiot? Yes, he has. No, he hasn't. He hasn't. He's only won a sprint. That's his first race win back since NSL times. Not too bad. F1 Kid in second place. Josh in third. Crazy, crazy scenes. Raul in P4. The wrap up in AlphaTauri third, fourth. Ethan in fifth. Pooch in sixth position. With the fastest lap to his name as well. Kizzo in seventh. Jack in eighth. Kieran in ninth to wrap up the points positions. Razin still gets classified, so he does get 10th and a point. The rest with DNS with multiple reasons for why each of those happened. Some incidents on their own, some crazy racing stuff, some everything. Stewards will want to look at that. I want to look at that, because let alone anything else. Sweet Jesus. There was some events. GG's again, everyone. I be real, that Odyssey is up there as one of the best endings for a race. That's not bad. That is not too shabby indeed. Incidents though, we'll be dealing with a few things. I think plenty happened, but like for the racing side alone, I saw some action. Woof. Thank you everyone who's dropped in the race. Appreciate it. You can all rest and chill. As if you've seen that and you want involved, you know where to go. You now know where to go. I need you to be clicking some buttons on your chat, on your keyboard, on your screen somewhere. Exclamation mark NSL in the chat. If you've seen this and you want to hop in next season on the new game and you're going to be on it and you want to take part and join these guys fighting and hopefully be the new title challenger, swap it all around. Get in the Discord, sign up quickly. Some new things will be changing around for NSL stuff. Couple rule changes, couple format stuff, couple extra things will run down. So keep in touch with it. If you're in the Discord, keep an eye on the announcements channel. We'll let you know anything changing. If you're watching on the YouTube VOD, in the description will be the NSL, not the Discord link, I should say. Spoilers, I guess. So all that good stuff. Nothing more to waffle on that side. I low-key do want to watch back that final lap. Because that was mental. You know what? I might just do exactly that. I might pull it up. Let's go for it. YouTube VOD, thank you everyone for watching. Appreciate you.